Welcome to Our Energy Matters with Anthony, Manna, and Dena Marie. Aloha.
Aloha to you too. Here we are. Session number what? Session number 61. Our energy does matter. And we get together each week. I always like to tell our audience, we get together each week, and I base my response and my energy to my discoveries in Dena Marie's book, with those beautiful crystals, delicious crystals on the front, and illuminations all over the place on the back about the chakras and about the healthy chakras and the ones that need to be worked on. And then what I always do is to come up with a piece of writing that I put together based on discoveries I make. And the one today I like it a lot. I'm calling it Crystal Reading for Crystal Healing Revisited. And also it's Labadiena Labaziva, which is good day, good life to our Latvian listeners and viewers out there. And I start by saying, I make my way into the luminous treasure trove of spark-tested manifestations of healing, hope, redemptive freedom, explored by Dena Marie in her divinely endowed book, transcendentally, I didn't know if I was going to say that right, transcendentally titled Our Energy Matters, The Art of Crystal Reading. I cross the book's radiant threshold and enter a protective sanctum where seekers like me, Dena Marie's anxious clients included, become awakened to prayerful mind and heart alert soulful action for, and this is the other title, for how to manifest their heartfelt intentions. And then I come, and this is the part that I've done this so often, and I never stop at the title page. I come to the title page I have passed over countless times, but on this day, I am startled by words inscribed by the book's author, recalling a sentiment the young girl, Dena Marie, most likely recorded in a diary or journal when she was 11 years old. She wrote, "Think good thoughts, not bad. Life is too short for feelings of fear and hate. And when your life is over, you will be able to say, I have lived a life worth living." And I want to repeat, these are the words of an 11-year-old Dena Marie. So Dena Marie, tell us your heartfelt intention when you decided to grace your title page with your prescription for creating a life well lived.
Well, I think, when I was a child, my mom said, you're too emotional. You feel too much. I would cry and I would laugh a lot too. I was super coming from my heart. But what I realized too is a lot of people, when I worked with the book or couples, they felt like puzzle pieces. So a very angry person will be drawn to a very soft-spoken, beautiful, voluptuous, big-hearted person. And because they don't want to open their heart chakra, they kind of become the other half of a person. They're not whole beings. So I was overcompensating for my mom's anger, stoic. So we all kind of do a dance. So I think when you and I are we befriended each other, but over the 2 years, we are in sync. Like, we love to talk to each other. When we get off the phone, we feel good. But when your heart is blocked and you're trying to protect it, it's very hard to get to these upper chakras. So of course, as a child, because my heart was open, I was very imaginative, creative. I loved music. I loved art. I was very compassionate. So we want balance. I was the person that people could walk over and punch in the face and bully, because it was too easy to knock me off my root chakra. I didn't have one. I didn't have a soul. I didn't have a base. I was just la, 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 Dena Marie. So it's really important to have your heart open, but also to have roots and practice. So your heart heartfelt intentions. The intentions are your ideas that you manifest for everyone to see. Like when you write a book, it starts as an idea, and you're in that kind of midway. You're right there. You haven't actually manifested it. So you're in the solar plexus, which is you have to write it. And then the sacral might be editing. And then the root chakra is when you publish.
Yeah.
So, but if our hearts aren't open, we will not manifest anything. And it sounds crazy, but you've got to have that altar between heaven and earth. We were just talking about when you pass over, it's the higher chakras, or when you go to sleep at night, it's the intangibles, it's the colors and the creativity, and you can be anywhere you want. And the lower chakras are the earth energy, which means you got to work hard. You got to move stuff. You got to physically take care of your body. It's a lot of work down here.
Yeah, no, and the way you put it, I mean, you slipped right into my next revelation here. And I say to you, in your book, you wrote, there are, and I always like to remind people about this when you start talking about the chakras, because I know that when I came to get to know you and your way of healing and your way of dealing with clients who come to you for healing, to open up their heart, that I didn't understand what a chakra was. So you say in your book, you wrote, there are 7 of these major energy centers in the human body and hundreds of minor ones, and they receive, assimilate, and distribute energy throughout our energetic fields, our auras, and our energy systems. And I thought that, yeah, I mean, it all started becoming real to me, you know, that it sounds so abstract, but it's not, because you can feel when something is disturbed, you know.
Well, your hands have a chakra. That's where we do the healing touch. I mean, when people are hurting, the first thing you want to do is put your heart on their heart and hug them. I mean, that's energy work right there. And it's so lovely when people, you know, I've had people pull away and kind of freak out. And then the next time they see me, they hold on so tight, they won't let go. But, you know, it's something you got to get used to, is opening your heart. It takes practice. And that's why we have the prescriptions. You know, I just had a 40-year reunion, and I remember what it was. People love to talk to me, you know, and they felt comfortable hugging me. And all of a sudden they're telling me things that are private, but it feels good to talk to someone about who you are and what's going on in your life, instead of that facade. Remember the quote about the facade?
Yes.
Yes, it is time. I said, you know, it's time for us just to be ourselves and be real. And that's when all your chakras are spinning, because you feel freedom.
Yeah, I really, when you say that, when they're spinning, I mean, you talk about that in your book, about how you know when they're spinning, because you're relating, and you're energetic, and you're alive, and you're, you know, as you say, as the young girl, that, you know, your life is fully lived. You say also, you wrote, these chakras resonate, and this is, I love this part, because it becomes that much more concrete when you say these chakras resonate and vibrate at the same frequency as their respective colors of the rainbow, and are the network through which the body, mind, and spirit can come together. Chakras are energy vortexes that distribute universal life force energy throughout the body. So colors, you know, I call forth colors of the rainbow. Ta-da! Holy of holies, the celestial heavenly art of empowering multicolored crystals with the force of blessed energetic awakenings. So what I'd like to do with you now is just to explore the stone or stones you choose. For what we did the last time, we looked at the crown chakra, and we looked at clear quartz, crystal, moonshine. And what I love about your book is that when I turn to page 26, and people should know this because it's written right there, you know, like, for example, when you say quartz, you know, the clear quartz crystal is the 7th chakra. And then I go over and I look at clear quartz on the other page, the crystals and their characteristics. And clear quartz amplifies spirituality, connection, and meditation. See, and so you're balancing, you're leveraging, and you're balancing the revelation of where the chakra is in terms of color, and then you broadcast, in a sense, why those crystals are so important. You know, what energy the crystals contain or emanate. That's probably a better way of saying it.
Well, and each chakra has different stones. This is a amethyst, and that goes right here. But if you think about when you look up at the stars or the moon, it's white. And then the heavens, this beautiful, dark, deep purple. That's this here. And if during the day the sky is turquoise, that's here. And you think about trees reaching for the heavens, you know, and the blue sky. And then but below that is the solar plexus, which is yellow, sunshine. We need sunshine to grow. The sacral, I think of the root, and the orange is earth. You've got this, like, I want to say it's mud. You know, you got water, you got red earth, brown earth. It kind of makes this nice tree trunk brownish color. But really we are, if you look at a tree, that's your lower chakras, the trunk coming up, and then we start to spread, which is the greenery. And then after that, we get all the flowers, and then we look up towards the heavens. But each chakra has a color that goes with it. And then the stone, so this is purple, and amethyst is purple, and it helps your third eye. Turquoise for your throat, rose quartz, malachite for your heart, and your favorite, tiger's eye, right, for your power chakra. Like I always say the Rocky song, da da da.
Yeah.
The sacral chakra is carnelian. Carnelian is it's orange, and it's very family related. And then say the root chakra is either black or red. So you could do obsidian or gosh, what's my favorite one? Darn it, I can't remember my red chakras. Garnet. Garnet's a beautiful one. But you know how people wear jewelry all the time? I can do a reading by everything they're wearing and the colors they're drawn to. It's pretty simple. The colors say a lot, and you love that part, the color part.
Yeah, I do, because as you're talking, I'm on the back cover, you know, and I'm looking at you know, at each one. If I go to, because I was going to ask you to join me to look at the brow. So I go to the brow, purple or indigo. The healthy brow is intuitive, imaginative, visual, and insightful, you know, and that, what a combination. But to be intuitive for me is also where creativity comes in, you know, that you open yourself up, and you allow a flow, you know, and sometimes I know when in my own writing, when that's blocked, I can feel it, you know.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
So you were talking to me about learning how to, for your book, a horse, and put the reins around your hand and how it would feel. But it starts here. Like I just did it. I could feel me putting the reins around my hand, you know, but what if you don't have that? If a chakra is blocked, you wouldn't be able to feel it in your mind's eye and see you with the horse rein, so you could write about it. So that's what writer's block is. And it's usually when people see things that they don't want to see over a lifetime. News is a good way. So if you're not seeing pictures in your mind's eye, you need guided imagery, or to pretend, close your eyes and take yourself on vacation, do those type of things. But yeah, good writers, it starts in the intangible world in your mind, right? And then you write it down physically.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just, you know, like today in my writing, I had a few hours just to try to get back into my story, and it was I could feel myself fighting it, you know, rather, you know. And so the idea of what really helps me is to go back to this concept of to move through the day with the openness of your mind and the openness of your heart, so that you allow things to come in, you know. And so I was struggling a little bit with you know, with the reins again, and trying to learn of what is he doing? What is this young guy? He's 13 years old. His father gives him the reins and the power, you know, and then
metaphor. That's
yeah,
good.
and he's just elated, you know, by the fact that his mother and father say, because they're on this seat, you know, on the cart, the wagon that's going to take them to the market, and so how do I do this? I was saying to myself, well, and I had to step back a little bit and take some deep breaths in and out to realize it's a lot simpler than I'm making it, in terms of.
Well, and the prescription, if you were like sitting here in front, well, you are sitting here in front of me, is that you were telling me about the rain and the sun and the drops and how beautiful it was to look outside the window today. And just again, that walk, my last night, taking a picture of sunset brought me back here again.
Mhm.
But the day before I was in traffic and I had an anxiety attack trying to park my car in a garage. It went down so deep, I got scared and I had to go back up to the top. And so when you're in that state, you can't write. But if you're in a state of awe of Mother Nature, then you open up those chakras again.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why, you hear writers saying they got up and they walked, they went outside and they walked when they were feeling stuck, or it's not so much stuck as not illuminated. You know what I mean? Like there's not that degree of allowance, and
it's the inspiration, and really you're not inspired. You're not inspired, and that spirit, it comes from spirit. It comes from something. When you're channeling something, it's not you. Like when I wrote that as a kid, I bet you I don't remember. I wrote it, and then my daughter found that 11-year-old quote, and she wanted to bring it to her high school project, and she read it out loud in her speech. And it was just like, I love that. I mean, I'm glad. I don't know why I kept it, but it was in something, and she must have saw it. And but yeah, I'm sure that was inspired. I was probably listening to a Beatles album in my room or reading a good book,
Yeah, whatever it is that loosens us up a little bit to accept, so it's just so illuminating. I say this, I know for sure. That young girl named Dena Marie of 11 years grew up and kept gathering the wisdom that delights and heals us with a wealth of knowledge all about connecting crystals to their unique characteristics, their nuanced energy, their enchanting significance. And you find that, folks, on pages 26 to 27. And I've been going back there a lot because I just feel like, thank you so much. Thank you. I see that, So it's really no wonder I keep calling you a celestial alchemist, but I see that, especially when you take those crystals in your hand, to me, that's kind of an alchemy, of digging deep, into the spirit. So, well, we're coming to our end. I say to you folks, for everyone, thank you for listening and observing and carrying on with us. If you want to move closer to Dena Marie's wisdom, then listen to her weekly radio show, Lift Your Spirits. If you go to her website, denamarie.com, dena-marie.com, you'll find out about that radio show. And I've been on the radio show several times, and it's such a treat to feel like that you're valuable, that your ideas are valuable, and that you can become part of that community. And that's because you've dealt with philosophers and writers and dancers and a lot of musicians and poets and stuff. And so it's a great community to be part of. Dena Marie is also very active on Facebook, and especially with photographs of the wonderful island she lives on the west coast of the USA. And there was also a lot of prayerful advice about self-care on her on Facebook, and also sometimes even daily meditations about where you might be at and where you want to go, where you want to be. My website for an interview with Dena Marie is anthonymannabooks.com. You'll find her in the Podbean podcast interview section, where there are other wonderful people that I've met along the way that I interviewed. And also, folks, if you're looking for guidance in terms of reading and writing with little tiny kids, tweens and teens and new adults, my website is all about that as well. So there we go. And
that was fun. Thank you, Anthony Manna.
No, thank you. Yeah, no, what I like about it lately is that we're doing a lot of improvisation off of the writing, and it feels really good because I think there's a kind of flow to that, those expressions of, where we're coming from. Okay, bye.
Bye. Keep flowing. Bye bye.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.